Hey, howdy and hello, folks. Welcome back into Tier 1 Ascension, T1A. It's another bleak week of waivers. Yeah, pretty miserable. Don't expect to spend a lot of money out there on any players. It's going to be pretty thin for the week. I mean, there wasn't a lot of notable injuries without something coming in to replace it. There was the Cameron Brate injury, Hollywood, Marquise Brown injured his foot, but you got D Hop coming back, and the Cardinals just traded for Robbie Anderson. So, on that note, let's get into it. All right, like I said, week 7 waivers. We also got our second bye week here. Let's see who's on our waiver list first. Oh, it's us! Wanting you to like, subscribe, and click the notifications so you know what's going on with us, as well as leaving a comment, even a question, suggestion. Definitely during the off season, we'll be looking at suggestions. So if you got something, throw that down there for us. So first up on our list, my guy, Greg Dulcich. Is finally off the IR. He had a hamstring injury, delayed him coming into the season at all. And we definitely know there's a vacancy for pass catchers. Okay, I'm just kidding. There's just targets. We just need some targets out to the receivers because Russell's getting pummeled back there. But he came in and he was targeted right away. They started throwing him too early, often. Oh, okay, maybe not often. I should probably take that part out. But it's already there. He was in on most of the third downs. He was also split out, so he didn't have to block. So it was obvious that they were looking to make him a passing option for us, especially somewhere in the lower section. Definitely down the seams as well. So be looking for him to be stretching the center of the field. Maybe even taking in some of those shallow shots. Didn't do so great as a blocker. I mean, there's some room for improvement. He's a rookie. But, his first game, 71% snap share. That's more than Albert O had so far this season. His highest was like 67 and just went down from there. Obviously, something just not clicking with Albert O. He's now a healthy scratch for this week. A bad sign for his value as far as fantasy football. Maybe there's injury, maybe there's just something, maybe they're looking to trade him. Who knows? But like I was saying in the offseason, Hackett came out, hey, this guy's dynamic. I love him. That's why we went and got him. So we kind of knew that they were already bought into what Greg Dulcich could bring. Right now, he's rostered in 5% of sleeper leagues. Next up, Cade Otton. With Cameron Brate injury, it's a head-neck injury. It's the second one in a few weeks. So they're likely, with Tua's situation, going to take a couple weeks to really get this going as far as getting him back on the field. So look for Otton, Kieft to take some snaps. Week 5, when the other injury happened and Brate was out, Otton had a 97% snap share, got 6 receptions, 43 yards. He was a great little dump off for Brady, and I think that's something that could keep developing through the year. So definitely worth picking up. Plus, the O-line is it's having some troubles. I think we need to say some prayers for that O-line because it is rough right now. Cade Otton, rostered in 10% of sleeper leagues, so very, very good chance he's out there. Somebody to look at if you're hurting for tight ends. And unfortunately, the rest of it's kind of on our desperate alleyway here. We got Malcolm Brown. He's on the Rams. We heard about the Akers situation where it was personal reasons, looking to trade him now. Oh, he might be welcome back. It just kind of speaks to something's going on with Akers. We definitely don't know all of it. It's behind closed doors. But Malcolm Brown, while he was there last week, 7 carries in the 25% snap share that he had. He also targeted once and had a reception. So he's an all right receiver, mostly known for his rushing. However, the counterpart here, Ronnie Rivers, he's an undrafted free agent. Same with the Akers situation. Who knows what's happening? But they're going to probably go to more of a running back by committee, with Darrell Henderson being the head of it, and then kind of working in Malcolm Brown, Ronnie Rivers, anybody else they can probably get their hands on. Don't get your hopes up at CMC. But Ronnie Rivers is more of a receiving back, 5'9" guy, a littler guy. Rashid Shaheed, he's the guy that broke off that long run, definitely a speedster, another undrafted free agent that's got promoted, just complete speedster. With Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry dealing with consistent issues, Olave has kind of become the front runner as receiver, but being that he's a rookie and he's a fast guy too, they need somebody to help take some pressure off him. So I could see them using Rashid Shaheed to draw that defense down a little bit by being a speedster, especially when they get Jameis back. All right, fab budget. Dulcich, $10 to $15. I believe that he's going to be the tight end. I mean, if you look on Sleeper, they already had changed their rostering to that Dulcich is number one. So it's pretty obvious that he's going to be there. If you don't have him, nobody has him in your league, definitely go out there and try to pursue it. He could be a valuable piece, especially down the road here. Probably not a huge factor. I'd rate him more in the Daniel Bellinger range right now, where it's going to be touchdown dependent, 2, 4, 5 targets a week. Just not the volume that you're looking for from a prolific tight end one, but it's somebody that could develop into that role. Cade Otton, we're looking to spend $8 to $12. Not probably as big of a factor for a roster, especially moving forward. Moving forward, he's a rookie, so there's always room to grow. But what happens with the Bucs next year? If Brady leaves, blah 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 blah. Any guy that was on that desperate alley guy list, like $2 maximum. If you're spending more than that, you spend way too much. We got a couple bye weeks coming up. We're in bye week 2, but we got some big guys coming up. Just some survival tips for doing that. If you're going to make trades, make moves that either are going to put you in contention, trading some of the rookie guys for a couple vets that are really good scorers, making 2-for-1 trades, making a starter and a bench player into a better starter, trading up to contend or trading down to rebuild, trading off the vets to get the young guys. But don't hover in the middle. Don't have, don't be the 3-3 team that has one good quarterback, one good running back, and a little bit of, some wide receivers, but you don't make any moves to do anything about that. You just leave yourself in the middle of the pack with your draft capital in the middle of the pack, where you're getting middle of the pack players. So it just creates a cycle where you're just in the middle, and it becomes more frustrating, I think, than purposely losing or tanking a little bit to get a better pick, or trying to go for it and seeing what you can do in the playoffs. There's also hold and lose. So if you bought big into stacks like Jared Allen, Stephon Diggs, or maybe you bought into Mahomes, Kelsey, and one of the wide receivers, you're best off to just ride through it. Just take an L for that week that they're on bye, instead of trying to churn through players and, I'm going to trade this guy over here, and then I can move after this week. I can move that guy over here. And, don't do that to yourself. Don't make it all that work. Your roster is probably going to be good enough. Just take a loss for that week. Move forward. It's as easy as that. All right. So be aware is the other one. Other teams have bye week players too. So maybe this week it looks like it's going to be abysmal. I can't win this week. Look to your next week's. Does that player have, some players that are key to their roster that are out? Might be worth looking at, just so you're aware of what they're doing. And maybe you can poach a player or two from them before their bye week comes up, so they can't have those players. It's all fair in the name of fantasy football. We got to win. But also, start working on your bye-apocalypse strategy. You got week 9, week 14, where we've got quite a few teams on bye week. The week 9 is going to be tough. Week 14 is going to be extra tough because it's a week right before playoffs and people hoping to get that push into the last playoff spots. So, a couple player watch. I think this is something I'm going to keep going through as we get up into the trade deadline, because obviously once we're at the trade deadline, you really can't do anything with them until the offseason. Right now, Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, they're kind of becoming a trade away target for me. Mixon, he's having good numbers, but it's becoming a lot more touchdown dependent despite the great amount of volume he's getting. So he's getting 20 plus touches a week, but it's factoring into, 60 rushing yards, 5-6 receptions for 15, 20 yards. Like, it's just not the focus of the offense is to use him. And they're still spelling in, Samaje Perine, touch of Chris Evans here and there. But Mixon just doesn't look like he has that burst in that line. I'm just not sure that they were there for rushing. They're more there for pass blocking. So Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, they're just having a rough start. It's just a cluster mess of everything going on in Green Bay right now. So if you can get some good value out of them, maybe look to move them. But I wouldn't say go slam them, get them off your roster. I mean, they're good players to still hold through, but if you can move to make a piece better or, get some good couple pieces to replace them, it might be worth a look. CMC, J.K. Dobbins, Jonathan Taylor, these are guys that you're wanting to hold or trade for, in my opinion. CMC has been solid, 17, 18 points a week, getting the receptions. There's also the rumor that he might be traded. I don't see that hurting his value, no matter where he goes, because he's still going to be CMC. J.K. Dobbins, yeah, he had some tightness in his knee, but he's still recovering. He had a pretty messed up, knee injury, and it took him some time to get back in the season, get things going. Just give him some time. Nobody expected him to come out and be rushing 215 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's just not what's going to happen. They're going to take their time because they want him to be a key feature to this offense. Jonathan Taylor, going to finally be back. It's going to take him another week or two before he really gets that bounce and that step. So, curb your expectations, but there's no reason you should be hesitating to acquire him. He's still going to be great, down the stretch, playoff times for this season, as well as, he's still young. He's got another couple seasons being a viable number 1 to top 5 back. All right, we're wrapping this up here. We got bye weeks this week. We have the Buffalo Bills, the Los Angeles Rams, Minnesota Vikings, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Pretty short and sweet. Like I said, there's not a whole lot going on out there. And I think that's all I got for you today. Have a great one.